Well, it's time for the Texas Bucket List Bite of the Week, and this week we're in Magnolia at a little cafe that's got all kinds of food we have found eatable. Magnolia, Texas is situated smack dab between Houston and College Station. And a great stop to get some grub if traveling between the two cities is the Eden Cafe, a restaurant that's been satisfying hungry souls since 2006.
I had hair when my kids were born. That tells you anything.
Don't make me worry.
Yeah.
Ulises Laramende and his wife Maria own Eden, and they strive to have a smorgasbord of selections. How do you classify your restaurant? You really can't.
You can, yeah. It's an international cafe. My wife and I wanted 4 people to sit at a table. One has a burger, one has a fettuccine alfredo, the other one's eating a Cuban dish, and the other one's eating fish tacos. You know, it's like completely international, and everybody's enjoying their experience.
Well, Ulises has done a pretty good job of blending it.
Everything here is wonderful, so you get to experience all different parts of the world.
Ulises was born and raised in Cuba, and when his family left the communist country in 1971 to live in Europe, Ulises will never forget the feeling.
The shock was more leaving Cuba and getting to Spain and realizing how the rest of the world lived.
In 1974, his family moved to Houston.
Houston was booming, oil. He's a mechanical engineer, so we thrived and we've been here ever since. Freedom was great. Coming here, you know, this country adopted us, and you know, it's been the best thing that's happened. You know, I thank my dad every day for getting us out of there.
Ulises started working in the restaurant business at a young age, first with a famous Pappas family who gave him some firm advice.
They took me in, they taught me the business. They said, until you get a piece of paper, we're not going to take you seriously, because I was dragging that out. You know, I went through a little bit longer than a 4-year program, because I was already working, you know, tending bar, managing, and I thought, this is it. I don't need to go to college, but they made sure that I finished, which I'm very thankful for.
He continued his career with the Carrabba's and was a GM at a steakhouse in Puerto Rico when he finally decided to come home to Houston and open his own restaurant with his wife.
My wife and I were brainstorming about a name. Eden reflected not only our beliefs, but also a fresh start. The menu is actually a reflection of where I've been in my career.
But that career has consisted of more than just cuisine. You can add a credited actor to his resume.
Yeah, looks good. Mount up.
I'm in the service all my life, you know. The Army's all I know. I got injured, so I retired recently.
I work with some folks here in the community that make Christian films, and I've been blessed enough to be in a couple of projects and work with them.
Playing a soldier with PTSD in the 2018 movie We Are Stronger, his character relies on faith to find a path in life.
I love performing, I love bringing stories to life, and I have found a lot of joy in working with this ministry and trying to just do good things for the people that are hurting. That's been a huge blessing to see other people's lives be touched by the story that I got to be a part of.
When he's not supporting the military, Ulises also backs the blue, offering free meals paid for by customers.
My wife and I put out a thing about feeding the blue and taking care of our officers and bringing them in here to eat, and everybody in the community started calling and donating gift cards to pay for their meal. As soon as I take off 2 gift cards off the wall, 5 more go up. I can't put a dent on it.
So does a Cuban-born entrepreneur who helps give back and happens to be a part-time actor actually fulfill his role as a good chef? We headed to the back to feature 2 popular dishes perfect for Adam and Eve.
That is our chicken marsala, which has been the #1 seller since day one, 14 years.
Wow.
This is the kind of chicken that you cut with a fork.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need a knife for this chicken, and you'll find out.
All right. Anything that I can gum, I'm all for it.
We have our marsala wine being reduced here. You know, it's just onions and cracked pepper and butter.
That's it?
And marsala wine, dry marsala wine. Once that's into a sauce, we add mushrooms that have been soaking in red wine. Throw it in there. There's a mushroom marsala sauce, which then becomes this plate right here.
The second dish hits closer to home for Ulises.
That is a very traditional Latin American dish. Every country in Latin America probably has a different name for it. In Cuba, we call it ropa vieja, which means old clothes.
We'll start with a ropa vieja, which is a beautiful, beautiful looking beef. It smells like a beef pot roast, but there's more in there.
like just a very subtle spice. Excellent flavor.
It's fantastic.
It's got the pepper flake taste, but not the spice. It's just enough. Absolutely amazing.
I've been eating here, like I said, 14 years, give or take. I never had a bad meal yet.
Well, from Cuba to Italy, we're going across the ocean. We'll dig into this marsala, get some of those mushrooms. Oh, now I'm ready for a big glass of wine.
You always have to have a little wine.
The sauce has got a little bit of butter in it. Definitely a savory and sinful flavor.
It's just really good.
Finding a restaurant with so many incredible entrees is hard to do because it takes so much time and preparation to make them. But here at Eden, this is not a forbidden fruit.
It's just good food.
I think it's an experience that people here in our community will tell you Eden's different.
I'm glad y'all think that Ulises' place belongs on the bucket list, because he does do a wonderful job.